Good evening, everyone, and how are you doing today? It's time for Grayman Prepping's fabulous and amazing Tactical Tuesday, where we cover tactics, gear, and more. And tonight's topic is wet weather prepping. And how is everybody doing out there? And how'd you like that little twist on it? Fantastic and amazing. All right, let me jump over here to the comments and get back to the top here and say hi to everybody. First one in was CR, Creative Redundancy, for those of you who don't know him. Phelan Clan Wolf, then Idaho Garden Girl, then Walt Rogers. And Walt says he'll be listening on his phone while working in the barn, won't be reading the chat, folks. So, yeah, you can say all you want, hi to him all you want. He ain't seeing it. Evidently he's got the phone in his pocket. He's shoveling out the stalls of the horse manure and stuff. All right, next one in was Suzanne Gallet, and then Kaylin Strain, and Suzanne says, entering lurk mode. Aiden Ears here. Tibor's in the house. Shadow Scout Sweet is here. Josh at Skinner Farms is in the house. All right, and I'm caught up. Yeah, barn work can be dirty. Oh, Corsair Trainers just came in. Oh, there he up above. I missed him somehow. It jumped on him. He will be lurking. Yeah, it's a dirty job, but hey, it has so much benefits to it, especially if you keep up on it. You get a lot of good straw and manure, and it's good for the garden. All right, and let's see. I just had a pop up here. Oh, okay. Joe just did the November 7th winner for 100 Days of Seed, so I'll have to watch that later. And Star Homestead India is here. Okay, so let's see. Before I jump into it, I'm going to give an update. When I went down to vote myself, there were several people in there that I knew were voting for me, and they were in there voting. And when they asked me, "Can we see your ID so we can verify that you're eligible to vote?" And I said, "Hey, I better be eligible to vote. I'm one of the candidates." And they all busted up laughing. "Which one are you?" And they go, "Oh, there's been a bunch of people in here trying to vote for you, but they're not in the city. They live just outside the city." So hopefully there's enough in the city that voted for me that I get it, because there's 3 people running for mayor. My friend is the only one I'm worried about. Curtis across the street. Originally said he was going to run. He said he was going to run for city council when I said I was going to run for mayor, and then he decided to run for mayor. I think his wife prodded him into that one, but we'll see what happens. At least if he's in there, it's a lot better than the we have now. I mean, seriously. I mean, the guy, the mayor that's in there now, is such a bad example of our city. It's just referring to people as drug dealers and welfare suckers and stuff like that. It's like, he doesn't know if they're on welfare or anything else. He doesn't know nobody's drug dealers. He's just referring to people like that. It's just like, no, dude, you're all right. Anyway, so the results will not be available until like 9:30 tonight, which is an hour and a half. And I probably won't see anything until find out anything until tomorrow or Thursday at the city council meeting. So I could go down there. I got a letter around here somewhere, inviting me down to the county where they would be reviewing the results and stuff. But it's like, yeah, I'm going to sit down there and twiddle my thumbs for an hour and a half while they pull all the little cities around that are doing elections. And fighting words. That's why, as of tonight, Tibor can get high and have an abortion in Ohio. What is happening to common sense? Correct. All right. And we just double checking it. I'm just looking back at the chat, making sure there's nothing I had to do there. Kaylin was talking about her, was really slow at her voting place. Yeah. Very light turnout. So, yeah, I hate odd year elections. There's always a low turnout for odd year elections. Because, everyone goes, oh, it's just, I'm not going to go down. There's nothing important now. If it was national, I would go down there and I vote for the local people too. But, I'm not going to just go run down there for voting for the local people. And that's when they should be heading down there. We need to take control of the local politics first, the local city, counties, and you expand it to the state. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. And I probably won't find out until Thursday night, unless our city clerk gets notified tomorrow, and I can ping her on Facebook. All righty. So what am I talking about tonight for the wet weather prepping? Having lived in Southern California, I can tell you it does not rain in the wintertime in Southern California. It friggin' pours. And of course, there's not very many reservoirs that catch all that fresh water. It goes down the Los Angeles River and right out into the ocean, and it's wasted water. Okay, so what am I talking about here? I'm talking about basically, four main topics I want to touch on here. There they are. Home, car, self, and gear. All right, so let me drop it down this way here. Oh, I forgot to hit the button. Boom. For those that want to come up, there's the button. And so I put it like this till I get someone else coming up here. All right, so for home, I know I mentioned this several weeks back. Have you cleaned out your rain gutters? I know, I've cleaned out all of mine. I got to get up there again tomorrow because today the wind was friggin' blowing all the leaves off the trees, and guess where they were going? Into the gutters I just cleaned out 2 weeks ago. So let me switch this back here. So we're going to go for here. So the first one I'm doing is home. How you doing tonight, Shadow?
Well, I have slept not that good this night.
Yeah, I kept waking up in the middle of the night too.
I got a call yesterday from my wife's phone, but it was not my wife who called me. It was a guy from the ambulance in Stockholm who called me. My wife got an epileptic seizure yesterday when she was back home on her way home again. So she had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's not good. Oh, all right, guys. Here he is, Joe from Big TV, Grow Big TV, or it could be Courtney. It's one of the two. I probably have a feeling it's Joe.
Hey, Grow Big TV, good to see you again.
Yeah. Courtney, so they had their first video out last night, and they already have over 100 subscribers. So yes, it's Joe. Okay. So I got to get out there with the big extension ladder to clean out the gutters out, the new gutters on the shop. Then I got to go up and inspect on the roof to see what the gutters look like up there. I'll probably just take, since it didn't rain for the last 2 days and we've had some wind blowing and stuff, blowing leaves out, I can probably just take the leaf blower up there and just blow the gutters clean. That's what I'm hoping for. So take care of that. I already took care of the window AC. It's already double bagged and waterproof tape around it. Because it's a pain in the butt to take that window AC in and out, every year. So we're trying to leave it in this year. So we sealed everything up around it and did everything, and hopefully we won't have any problems with it. I redid the weather stripping around the front door. I redid that, so that's all secured, flat, and working good. The back, I'm probably going to have to take one of the sheets of OBS there and rip it into 9.5-inch strips and go ahead and put it across the top like I talked about on my new patio cover, because the wind comes generally from the south, and so it blows up over the roof and right through that gap opening, and so I'm getting water down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some boards across. It'll still leave 6 inches of space, and it has all the heat tape up there. So any snow that starts to accumulate there will be melting and going anyway. So don't worry about that. NCR is removing outdoor hoses. Already got mine already rolled up for the winter. But yeah, there's gutter shields. We looked at it and stuff, and with snow, because even with the heat tape, snow will start to slide a little bit, and it folds down into the gutter there, and the other heat tape in the gutter just melts it off the rest of the way real quick. So it's one of those things that's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Depends what's going on here. Hey Laura, how's it going? Let's see, what else did I get done for the house? I went around and I checked all the roof fans for the bathrooms and the kitchen and stuff. Make sure that there weren't any wasp nests building up in there, because it's so cold up there now that they're dead, and I just sweep them out. I changed I cleaned the filters on the inside of the inside. Got those done for the wintertime here. It's actually a wet weather, but it is kind of, the upper part is kind of wet, because if you say stuff blocking up, it can cause problems. I sealed a bunch more of the expansion joints in the driveway. I waited till it got the right temperature where the concrete started shrinking, so the gaps got wider, but it was still warm enough that when I took the self-leveling concrete sealant out there, it flowed nicely down into those cracks and sealed it up. So I'll have less water intrusion underneath the new driveway. That stuff's great. If you have problems with your water intruding into the expansion joints in your driveway and stuff, and you see silt coming up from where what washes in one side and washes out the other side, that self-leveling sealant for concrete is great for that. And Wayne's here, the ungrateful peasant. And so, yeah, so I mean, there's probably windows. I checked all the make sure the stuff on all the windows were, nothing was degrading and falling apart. It's all good. And so the windows are all good. The vents are all good. The front door is good. Back door, it wasn't bad last year. The only problem was when the snow was blowing from the north, the couple of days it blew from the north and built up on the door and then melted. I had some water problems there. But since that cover there is covering it, I don't have to worry about that no more. And, the the garage. Okay, so how do I do this? Okay, so this here is will be like the front of the shop, and the shop comes back this way here. Well, the floor, for some reason, past the front of it extends past the roll down door about that much, about 6 inches. Well, it seems like for some reason the first foot is tilted back into the shop. So at 6 inches, a little bit more there. So when the snow would blow up against the shop door, or the rain would blow up against the shop door and run down, it would hit that and it would flow right back underneath the rubber thing drops down, because it's not really watertight. It's just to stop dirt, dust, and critters from coming in. And the water would seep through and I get big puddles in the shop. Well, I took some of that self-leveling concrete sealant, and I marked with my Sharpie here on each side of the door while it was down, so I knew where the door sat, rolled it up, and I put a couple big beads of that self-leveling sealant. Well, of course, it leveled out, but then I had a spot to work from, and I just kept building it up. So I built it up about 3/4 of an inch, but it tapers out 6 inches out off each side there. And the last several storms I've had, no water at all coming into the shop. And but it's level enough. I mean, I tapered it, so it's just a little hump, just about like this. And I was able to move a couple of the planters into the shop using the pallet jack, and it just rolled right up over it, didn't dime, nothing. So that's working good. Okay, Lord put new gutters on the porch, drains into a rain barrel. Cool. Now I don't want to do concrete shaving. This takes care of it. Because you have the ramp run up, or the apron that when they poured for the driveway comes up at an angle. This just continues right off that up, so it works perfect. Let's see here. CR got the rubber mats out for the winter. Those to me, except for your 2 entry doors in your building, they need to be repaired. Yeah, I'd complain loudly about it. Let's see, did I miss anything else up there? All right. Probably next week, plexiglass goes up, turning the back porch into a heated mudroom. Excellent, Tibor, excellent. And so there, so I got the shop taken care of. So the two doors for the shop are not, water's not coming in on it anymore. And out on the front seal on it, it started to buckle a little bit. And I put some more of the roofing screws in there, holds it up nice and tight. Everything's working good there. The pedestrian door into the shop is now totally covered by the new cover from the roof, so I don't have to worry about snow blowing up against it. And in fact, with the rain that did blow in last week and stuff from either side, they still left an area dry in front of the door, and the door was totally dry. So that's there. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? How to Garden is in the house. So there was a lot I did on the, I went around and checked my home, and I know there's something I'm forgetting. I know there's something I'm forgetting out there that I need to check on, to do it. One thing I do need to do here in the next week or so is drain the hot water heater and flush it out for the winter. And, let it refill. All right. What else for the house? I'm just trying to think. Everything's good on the house right now. I went around. I checked to make sure all of the outdoor electrical outlets that the covers close all the way and they're not hanging open. Car. Item number 2. Car. Those of you who had get home bags in your car, I've heard people talking about theirs and say, yeah, during the summertime, I take my rain gear out, I take this out, I take that out. To me, it's like, it rains here in the summertime too. I don't want to be caught out there in a summer storm without my rain gear. So my rain gear stays in my get home bag. It does not come out. I keep layered jackets in there, because it can in summertime, it can go from 80 degrees in the afternoon to all of a sudden, because we are high desert here, it can go down to like 40 degrees at night. And if it's starting to sprinkle, Oh, you're going to be wet and cold trying to walk home. Let's see. But I did check. I tested out the 12-volt plug in the cigarette lighter air pump air compressor. Made it sure it still worked. Checked the flares; they're still good. I did add extra windshield washer fluid because now you're going to get a lot more mud blown up on your windshield when it starts to sprinkle a little bit. Now the car's moisture is throwing the dirt that's on the street that hasn't washed up onto your windshield, so you're going to need more windshield washer fluid. And here we use the stuff that is anti-freezing because one day it's warm, the next day it's freezing. And so we do that. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I knew I wasn't the only smart one in here, Tibor. And let's see. I changed out my. I don't have plastic water bottles. I have the thermostat water bottles. I got a half gallon and a couple of quart and a half water, metal water bottles in there. So the water's still good, but I just poured it on the plants and then rinsed it out in case any algae starts to grow, whatever. It won't because it's totally, well, you can get algae will grow in total blackness though. So I rinsed it out, cleaned it, refilled them, put them out there, left them down about that far. So in case it does freeze, it has room to expand and not damage the metal water things. Glenn says he's expecting a cold winter this year. Yeah, wet and cold do not mix. Okay, hang on. I guess I just saw something. CR flush it with wet, and she. I read it. I read it wrong. I want to see what CR put in there. Oh, flush with it. Okay, flush up against it. Got it. Rain boots, yeah. Can't bring it all into flush with it. Your water are single wall stainless. Half full can be thawed next to the engine. Yeah. New Jersey's supposed to have a bad winter. Yeah. And what I've seen on several of the big channels, that everybody goes to, I think the one is Ron Hall Y'all talking about it, is that it's Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and it comes down around and it drops down, and it's supposed to be dropping down for the general winter pattern down into Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and that. So they're going to get more wet with some cold, and they may get some some snow flurries that don't stick or may stick for a day. But New England, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey is supposed to get some ugliness this winter. Not all the time, but they're saying there's going to be some ugly weeks in there where it gets ugly. Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought that was wet and cold was England was a English summer. And Idaho Garden Girl's back. And Wayne says I change a sock, underwear, and thermals in the car. Jacket in the back seat, so I keep ready to eat snacks and water. Have to walk home. If I have to walk home, I'm not trying to camp. Yeah. I mean, even if I'm up in Idaho Falls and the truck breaks down, there are plenty of hotels up there. If my daughter and I can't or son-in-law can't come up and get me and bring me back, I'll just grab a hotel room and then first thing in the morning head out. Oh, Shadow, thank you. Woohoo!
You're
Shadow
most
Scouts.
welcome.
He just became what level? Prepper. All right, he just became a prepper level. Speaking of that, go up here, analytics. Take a look here. Yeah, so we're at 1528. We're going a little bit slower than YouTube is pushing Camp Patton Family Compound. We're more than halfway to the next giveaway level because we did the 4,500 giveaway last Monday. We're at what was it? It just changed. It just changed on it. 4820. So we're 180 away from the 5,000 subscriber giveaway on Camp Patton. Depends on what that's what I kind of figured. It's like the San Francisco Bay Area. You're over in across on the east side of the bay with Oakland, Alameda, and Richmond, and you're dying over there in the heat. You go over to San Francisco, it's a bit cooler. You go over the hill down the peninsula to South San Francisco, and you got to put a friggin' parka on. All right, Joe just gifted one, and how to garden. Glenn grabbed it already. Woohoo! So Glenn grabbed the gifted membership. Boom! And
yeah, it was Joe. It was Joe who.
Yeah, Joe gifted it, and Glenn grabbed it. And yeah. Okay. All right, Glenn, that's only good for 30 days. So start saving your pennies so you can renew it on your own. And let's see here. And let me get speaking of wet, let me wet my whistle. All right. So Shadow, what do you do for getting your car ready for a wet winter?
Actually, I don't have any car because it's too expensive to have a car here. So then I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, so in other words, you're prepping yourself. You're going to be prepping. You're going to be doing number 3 here on the list, prepping yourself for wet weather.
Yeah.
Walking to the bus station or walk, whatever you got to do. It's like Kaylin. Kaylin takes the bus everywhere. So she's got to walk from her apartment to the bus stop to go to the store and then come back, and she's carrying her groceries and sometimes in the rain. Oil change. Yep. I talked about windshield washer fluid, but make sure you got your oil changed and your tires. Check your tires. And there, see how it comes out with tires, oil change. Yeah, check your tires because your tires may have been really good last winter or fairly good, and all the summer driving on it, your tread's wearing down, and now it's getting to the point where you get some water out there, you may lose traction. Hydroplaning. So, so that's one thing I'm thinking about doing on the truck here is I'm looking at the tires. I got another set of rims out in the one of the cargo containers, so I may be taking them up to Big O, Les Schwab, and seeing if they have some really good snow tires to put on it, and so they can put those swap those off the old tires I have and give me some good ones, and then do the free seasonal change for me. And Glenn says he needs new tires. Actually disconnected the airbags in some of my vehicles. Things are getting spicy, and you want options. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw the trailer for season 2 of Reacher on Amazon, and the guy sitting, one of the bad guys is sitting in the car watching him, and Reacher spots him and starts walking over to him and goes, "Oh crap, what do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to do?" Reacher walks up to the car and reaches out and just kicks the front bumper as hard as he can. Boom! Airbag goes off in the guy's face.
Oh.
Chris, how you doing? Chris is in the house here. And Tibor says radiator fluid. Have it checked to see if it still provides protection. Yes, because you're heading into winter. You want to, because I know every time I go in for oil changes and stuff, they try to put water into my radiator thing and into my windshield washer. I tell them, no, if you're adding water, don't, because I put the mixed fluids in both. And so they, I have to stop them from putting the plain water because that'll dilute your antifreeze down.
And don't forget to check the braking fluid.
Yeah, brake fluids as well. Yeah. And Garden State's Gardner is in here as Garden State Gardner. He's no longer Grow Big TV. That's something I totally forgot. Thank you, CR. Sand and gravel, but sandbags for around the house. If you have ever had a need for them, get your sandbags now. Get them ready, so that if you do get a deluge, you have them there ready to stack in the areas you need to stack it on to keep the water flowing away from the house. Well, he still might have the other one playing. So, yeah, freezing rain sucks. Yeah, he said double duty. He's got them both going. Yeah, sandbags to throw over your rear axles as well. Now, here's the interesting thing. Some states don't want you putting sandbags or cinder blocks in the trunk of your car, for the added weight and stuff. Pennsylvania being one of them, unless they changed that law since the last time I was back there. But I had some friends back there. They had a lot of cats, and so they carried 6 big bags of cat litter in the trunk all winter long. Because when it snowed and stuff, that was what gave them the extra traction to get home and stuff. Yeah, there was cat litter. Yeah. Oh yeah, and not only that, they from one make of vehicle to another make, you can't interchange the radiator fluids. Someone wants specifically balanced radiator fluid, or it voids the warranty for the engine and the radiator and the heater. Because that sucks when your heater core inside where you're getting the heat from, all of a sudden it springs a leak and all your radiator fluid dumps on the floor of your car. Yeah, that's the thing. Being able to store sandbags around your place. If you're in an apartment, you really can't do it. It's up to them. But if you're have a house, where are you going to store it? Someplace needs. And Steve is sliding out of here. I guess talking about all this rain, he remembers the Southern California rainstorm, so he's got to go get prepared.
That was a good one.
Whoa. News, folks, news. The House of Representatives has formally censored Rashida Tlaib in a 234 to 188 vote. Next step is to remove her from Congress. Yep. No, that's the next step. And the step after that is to have her arrested and tried for insurrection, subversion of the Constitution, and whatever else they can throw on there treason-wise. Aiden here. All right, Aiden here got 3 points for that one.
Well, California doesn't get much rain.
Yeah. It's funny being down in there. You have it really hot and dry in the wintertime down there. All of a sudden, it's coming down. You can't see across the freeway. It's coming down so hard. The next thing you know, the Los Angeles River is overflowing its banks practically. All the concrete outflows and everything else are full. Streets are flooding, and it's like, holy crud! And all of a sudden, it stops, and in an hour, it's all gone. It's all flown out to the sea. All right. So self. Number 3. Self. Getting yourself ready for it. With self, I include your clothing, your immediate clothing, your vitamins, your cold medication, everything that you're going out into that cold, wet, damp weather that you're going to need to keep yourself healthy. Layers of clothes, not just one super heavy shirt, but a t-shirt, not a long john. My wife started getting these. It's another one here. I forget what these are called. They're like a long sleeve t-shirt, but they button up here partway down in the front. She loves these. Anyway, she got me a couple of them. So I got my t-shirt. I got that on. I got a shirt on here. And then when I go outside, if I go out, depending on whether it's raining or not, I'll be wearing either my insulated vest and or a jacket. And if it's really cold, instead of the jacket, I'll be wearing the parka, which has been sprayed with water repellent. Poncho. And if it's really coming down, then I grab my heavy construction, my heavy yellow slicker we used in construction. That is so, if you put that on, all of a sudden you feel like you're in a sauna because it traps all the air and everything else in there. It depends how bad the snowstorm is and the rainstorm interrupting the transmission to the between my radio receiver and the radio tower 1.5 miles away. Okay. Same as Arizona. Northern part of the state. Yeah. We get up there when I lived in Fredonia, Arizona. Yeah, we get hard rain and everything would start to flood, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the rain stopped, it all just sucked into the sandy soil up there. Kaylin recently upgraded to a raincoat that has a removable freezer liner. Double layer jacket itself is a double layer one with a hood. Yes. Raincoats, rain suit, ponchos. One of the things I've seen that used to be really big when I was a kid was the slip-on galoshes that went over your shoes. And they had the ones that were ankle high, just slightly above ankle high, and it had the ones that came up mid-shin. and they had the little metal clasp. So you put your shoe and everything in there, and you just lock the metal clasp down on it. I haven't seen much of those. I see the solid rubber boots that come up to your knees practically around all over the place here. But I don't see the old-fashioned galoshes, which were absolutely fantastic because we, go to school and everybody has a pair of rubber galoshes and everybody has their name written in permanent marker on the inside of it, so you can see who's. You make sure you don't grab someone else's galoshes. Fleece liner, okay, fleece liner. That's what I thought you meant. And you see, aqua-proof gloves, you can swim in the cold and the downpour. Cold travels back to your core. Yeah, you want to keep your hands warm. One of the things I've got is the real thin wool gloves, almost like you also have cotton ones that are supposed to be for delicate work type stuff. Real thin ones. If it's going to be raining and I know it's going to be a cold rain, I'll put those on. Then I'll get a pair of the extra large nitrile gloves on over it, and then I'll have my work gloves on over the nitrile gloves. And that way it provides insulation in there and keeps the water from getting into the one that's actually providing insulation. Bunch of those thermal shirts with the buttons like that. Button up flannel jacket hood. Yeah. Well, I actually have a bunch. I actually have a what's it called? It's the thermals, but it's the wool on the outside and the thin layer of cotton on the inside. And I will put that on under this blue one here, and I'll put the blue one on, and then I put my shirt on over that. And especially when I'm out there all right on the tractor plowing snow, because I'm not moving other than my arm a little bit and my one foot on the pedal and the steering wheel. I mean, I'm not doing much heavy work at all, and so I can get cold fairly quick. And so I just I wear that stuff just to give me extra layers in there. Let's see here, try to get now. My muck boots go up to the middle of my shins. They're usually insulated for cold weather. How's it going? My motto is turn around, don't drown. Yeah, my sister's down there in Spring, Texas, as is one of my cousins. They moved from California down there to Spring, Texas. Yeah, you want the ones that come out. Thank you, Tibor. There's something I wanted to talk about here right now, talking about this part. So let me get that down to the bottom there, catch up, and let me take a quick look here. Yeah, that. Okay, talk coffee. Winters are brutal in Wisconsin. CR reorganized. Yeah, it's not even cold down there. All right, so my hat. How dry is this hat going to keep me, guys? On a scale of 1 to 10. How dry? 10 being very dry. Maybe 2. So this hat will keep me a bit drier. Comes out a little bit farther and stuff. And it does a fair deal, But if it's a real downpour and I have a hat to wear, it's going to be my bull rider style, because it catches everything and it really channels it so it doesn't come down here on my neck. And this has a bigger brim on it, so it sticks out farther, so the water shoots out farther. Water shoots farther back away from my back. If I'm leaning forward, it's got just enough of a lip back here to, if I'm leaning forward a little bit, to go ahead so it doesn't drip off the back. It just channels it all off the front. So, and I've had this one since 1978, winter 78, spring of 79 is when I got it. So, yeah. Yeah, because I don't want to be out there. Don't want ice building up on that chrome dome there. Suladine, good evening. Oh, all right. So, your gloves, you do. There are all sorts of different gloves. You want to try to make sure you have your gloves are loose enough so you don't cut off the circulation in your fingers. Like I went out, bought, ordered a pair that says extra large, put them on. They were, oh, geez, extra large for what, a pygmy? I mean, they were so freaking tight. I had to send them back. I mean, I couldn't even curl my fingers this far. It's like, I'm like, oh, roboto. So I sent those back. My grandmother used to say her coffee was so strong that it would dissolve the spoon as she stirred it. Yeah, I was trying to see what Kaylin said. Probably mistagged. Yeah, but there was the one before that. Yeah, we're in one of these under a parka hood, and it's getting out there. Yeah, it'll soak up all the water that would if you some water, if it makes it through the hood and you get a little bit misting on your face, it will evaporate. But as it starts collecting here, all of a sudden it's just wicking cold up and over, and the bill of the hat gets really cold when it gets wet as the breeze blows by. Made in China. Okay, hang on. Okay. All right. No, I'm not putting Rain-X on my body. No. Oh, so Tammy got a large dog bed and her small cat couldn't fit in it. Yeah. Shawnee! I said you get rain pants, everything drips off the raincoat and soaks the pants. Yeah. Usually what I do, and my wife does, is if I'm not expecting to get down on my knees to work on something, I have a pair of pull on sort of like sweatpants, but they're rain pants. Got elastic on them. I just pull them on. They're really loose and baggy to keep the water from soaking my pants. But if I'm needing to get down on the ground, like if it's need to something, I put chains on the car because I'm heading into an area where they're requiring the chains, but it's been raining and stuff, and it's kind of misting. Like I'm talking Highway 80 through California, coming over from Reno down into Truckee and down into Gold Rush, and then I'll put on the heavy duty ones. Let's see here. You guys and your coffee. All right. So Ladine said, I keep a pair of car gloves, poncho, a refugee medical kit, sanitary supplies, 20-hour blanket, 20-hour food kit. One of the things, talking about the blanket, the Mylar blankets, space blankets. If you look good on and don't buy the first one you see on Amazon, you can find them down to less than $1 again. But you got to buy like 8 of them. So you get 8 for $8, and it's like those things are really good for help keeping you dry. And sometimes if you have a roll of painter's tape, one of the in the car, one of blue tape in there, you can tape two of those together and wrap them around the outside of your blanket as well. I mean, your sleep, if you have a sleeping bag or a blanket, whatever. That way, it keeps water and stuff off if you're in a situation where you're having to hike home with your blanket and stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, rain mitten. Yes, rain cover for your backpack, your get home bag, whatever it is you're using. And if you're to get home, and you want to keep the bag dry as well. And that brings us into number 4, gear. So your get home bag. What sort of tent do you have? Do you have a tent in your get home bag, a little pup tent, or do you just have a light tarp or a heavy tarp in there? What do you have to help keep you dry if it's going to take you a day or two to hike home? You're going to have to spend one night out there somewhere. So you got to think about, you want to keep all your stuff in there dry, and whatever you're doing dry as well. I really hate a lot of the modern tents because it has a rain fly on it, and if you don't put the rain fly on, you got a screen on top, so all that rain's coming through. I like my old tent. It had a rain fly, but it had a sealed top as well. So the rain fly was to keep the really hard rain from beating down and trying to penetrate the top of the tent. So it protected the top of the tent from the sun. It's more like mostly for sun though, and then for rain as well, from damaging the tent. And I used that thing for like 12 years. I haven't thrown it away. It's out in the shop in its bag and everything, but if I need to, I can use it. But you say a good lightweight tent that's easy to set up in the rain. Mary Beth Smith's in the house. Hey, how's it going? Let's see what else did I miss up here.
CB's in the house.
Yeah. CB's here. Woohoo!
Yep.
Cross your fingers, folks. They're doing the counting right now on so I don't know if I won if I became mayor or not. I hope so. Space blankets. I'm just reading back up here again, catching some of the stuff that. All right, Mary Beth. I'm not going to pick. I'm not picking. I'm just going to use it. She commented on my your prep for the day video stuff. I told her. Oh, she said that no, there was nobody new run. There were no contested seats for her county, and she's out in the sticks, so she's not in a city. So there was no contested seats. I told her, well, she should run. She goes, she's not a politician. Benjamin Franklin said, if you run for a public, just paraphrasing, you run for a public office, you need to run as a statesman, not a politician. A statesman works for the people. A politician works for themselves. So, all righty. Hello, CB. Wait for it. Wait for it. I already said hi, CB. Making a taco. It's just temporary light. You remind me. A friend of mine, who was one of the fathers in the Scout from the Scout troop, would go up there with his boys and stuff. He did not take a tent up there. His boy would take a tent. He wouldn't. He had a hammock that he put the hammock up and had a tarp that would go over it and would zip to the side of the hammock and hang down a little bit on the side. So basically, it was like a suspended tent, and that's how he liked to camp. And so yeah, he kept it. And when it did rain, he goes, hey, I'm up off the ground. There's no water flowing up against the side of my tent trying to get in. And so to each their own. But yeah, that's now, you know, I was looking at it, yeah, if it weren't for my bad back, I would probably get one of those. Okay. A real rain fly. Plastic windows could cover up from the inside. Yes. Open top tents, condensed water on the storm fly dead. Yeah, I've had it rain from the condensed water down. See the reading, catching up here. Well, it depends on the type of tent too. Yeah, we had an old canvas tent when I was growing up. Yes, that thing was heavy, and it was had an 8 foot by 8 foot square footprint on it. And we had my mom, my dad, my sister, and my 2 brothers. So there were 5 of my mom, my dad, my sister, my 2 brothers, and me. So there were 6 of us in there. Yeah. So yeah, we squeezed in tight into that thing, but yeah, it was heavy. Exactly. Uh, uh, okay. Chat's moving fast tonight. Yeah, every now and then it'll sit there and not move, and all of a sudden it's. Yeah, at least you didn't come at the end. Joe Primal, hey, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, life jackets have a little bit of cushion. I could see sleeping on a bunch of life jackets. That could actually be quite, and it provides insulation from the cold ground too. Never thought of that, Tibor. In all my years, I've never thought of sleeping on life jackets. That is an excellent thing. Everybody remember that. Put that in the back of your mind. Write that note down.
Well, that's a good tip.
Yeah. And yeah, let's see what other gear. Do you have plenty of paracord in your get home bag, your whatever bag you have? Just in your vehicle, you have an extra roll of paracord in there. Extra knife too. I probably have a half a dozen of these around of different ones. I think I got 3 of the Huskies. And then from Harbor Freight, I got 2, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I got 4 of the Husky ones. I prefer the Harbor Freight ones. The Husky ones are a little bit more of a challenge. Changing the blade, the mechanism is a pain in the butt. This one here, the pain in the butt is you got to push it to open it, but it locks partway open, so you can use it like a carpet knife, or it opens all the way up. But what I really like about it is, see this little wheel right there? Boom. Easy peasy changing. Oh man, that's slick and fast. That fast. And Harbor Freight is still carrying this. Is if I can read the name on it. I can't read the name on it anymore. It's so worn out. It's just barely on there. It begins with a C, it looks like. But yeah, I mean, it's just,
Or otherwise you have to Google it.
Huh?
Or otherwise you have to Google it.
Yeah, exactly. But this is my favorite favorite everyday carry utility knife. Now let's get back to chat and see what I missed. Okay, Tibor said it was super comfy. I got a 24-foot striper boat sitting out front if it gets that wet. Yeah, it is around us here. It is kind of wet there. The Statue of Liberty there is washing away. All right, Wayne, have a good night. Yeah, I mean, my son and I were had these for quite a while, and then I got a coupon in the mail for a free one of those ones from Harbor Freight. It's like, hey, free, I'm going to go down there and get it. And I also got a free tarp, and I picked up a free one of those blue LED flashlights too. So I've switched from this to the other one. My wife still has a couple of these, but I gave her one of the other ones as well, with the Harbor Freight ones. She prefers the Harbor Freight because it's easier to change the blade. Let's see here. I still have a couple of those out in the shop, and they're in the toolbox out there with a screwdriver that's a drawer where I have all the utility knives. I got extra blades in there for it, and I got the screwdriver that stays in there for changing the blades on those. I actually have some of the hooked blades for the utility knives out there as well. Yeah, learn to tie hitches and also all the other fun knots and stuff. How to properly tie a knot so it releases easy. The Boy Scout, don't have it here. It's in the closet there. The Boy Scout has a little trifold thing on knots. They have their book on knots, relatively cheap. You can order it online from the National Scout shop. Really good information there. And if you have a niece or nephew that are in the scouting program, volunteer with the Scouts. That way, if you can go to camp with them and stuff one time. At camp, adults can sit in on the trail. What's called trailhead. It's where we're learning all the knots and for tenderfoot and stuff like that for Scouts. The adults can go there and sit in on it and take notes and learn how to tie the knots. And some Scout camps will hold a class specifically for the adults, so the adults can learn to do all the knots and stuff, and then work with their Scouts later on. Yes, trucker hitch. My dad taught me a trucker hitch when I was 10 years old. That is absolutely useful, and it's easy to break loose. All right, Laura. See you later. Got to go have everyone. Oh yeah, okay, it's afterwards. All right, a quick announcement. Quick. Survival Saturday from now on is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern time instead of 10 p.m. Monday Night Fireside Chat also is going to start at 8 p.m. from now on. Tactical Tuesday and Friday on the Homestead will stay at 10 o'clock. So those are the two main time changes going on. And hope to see you all around. For those that are sticking around for a second, what's coming up here on Friday? Friday is how do you relax your mental health, especially in the winter? Especially in the wintertime when you're locked indoors and you're starting to get all cabin fever. You can, we're talking about ways to relax and to relieve the stress of that, other than watching the Muppet Treasure Island where they sing the song, "Who's got cabin fever? We got cabin fever." Yeah. Saturday is we got part 3 with Dr. Ruffin on Saturday. Next Monday on Camp Patton's going to be talking about winter canning food in the winter time. And some people are going to go, huh? Yeah, be interesting on that one. And next Tuesday here is going to be, I'm doing a follow-up to a video I did 3 years ago on Camp Patton Family Compound. It's my #1 video over there. It has over 200,000 hits on it. But I'm doing a follow-up over here on lamp oils, alternative fuels for emergencies. And I got a boatload of information to give out about the different fuels, why you want to use some and why you do not want to use some of them. All right. So, okay, Mary Beth, no problem. I understand that. Alrighty, folks. So that's what's coming up. Thank you, Shadow, for coming up here.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure.
And thank you, everybody in the side chat, for all your comments and suggestions. And hopefully everybody picked up something and made a note of something new to do. All right. So I will see you all then on, those that are awake this late, the midnight ride on with Grayman Prepping on Thursday night, and then Camp Patton Family Compound for Friday night on the homestead. All right. See y'all later. Take care.
Take care. Stay safe.